Hey guys, Mr. Farrell here, and wanted to give you your week 4 instructions. First thing before we get into week 4 is this video or this thing up here. So, I've had a lot of people uh, have questions about the PDF tools, the Google Read and Write thing. That's this purple puzzle piece up here, by the way, and they've said I can't get my PDF writer to work or it won't let me write on stuff. And um, so I made a video to hopefully help take care of some of those problems. I'm still trying to work out all the kinks. So watch this video, give this a look. Hopefully that'll help to maybe fix some problems. If you're still having problems, please get in touch with me because, like I said, we're still trying to work out all the kinks. So that's the first thing. Hopping into week 4 instructions, you have 5 things to do for me. So first thing is the intro to cells. So last week we talked about cells. We talked about 2 main kinds of cells. We talked about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So in the video last week, we talked about what are the video was the big differences. What are prokaryotes? What are eukaryotes? And there was a really helpful rhyme with it. So pro no, you do. So pro no means there's no nucleus, no membrane bound organelles. Eukaryotes are the ones that do have a nucleus and do have membrane bound organelles. So this week we're getting into talking about eukaryotes, and we're talking about the organelles that they have. And organelles are basically like organs. So your body has organs like the stomach, the brain, the heart, lungs, liver, and they all have a different job. And the cell has basically tiny organs. That's what organelles means, is tiny organs. So we're going to look at those little organs and what are those jobs? What do they do? What cells have those organs? What cells don't have those organs? Differences between cells. So there's plant cells, there's animal cells, and they have some different organs. Plants are able to make food from sunlight. Animals don't have that ability. Well, what's responsible for that? That's what we're getting into. So you're going to watch this video and you're going to work with this PDF here. So I'm going to click into this and let me zoom out real quick. So you're probably going to have to watch this video maybe once or twice or, however many times you need to, because it's very dense. There's a lot of information in it. And the first page, this is just kind of overview. What did you get from this? So you're going to put a P if the statement applies to prokaryotes. Remember, no nucleus, no membrane-bound organelles. And you're going to put an E for eukaryotes. Eukaryotes do have organelles. And you're going to put both if both prokaryotes and eukaryotes fit that description. So you're going to do that for all these little word bubbles. Now, down here, we have all these different organelles: cell membrane, cytoplasm, ribosomes, the smooth and rough ER, the Golgi apparatus, mitochondria. And your job is to write the functions. The function is the job. So what does the cell membrane do? You're going to tell the type of cell. Is it prokaryotes, eukaryotes? Is it just eukaryotes? And then something that makes you think of. So like an example. So for example, the nucleus, it controls all the cell's activities. Well, that's similar to a brain. That's similar to what our brain does. The cell membrane, it's on the outside of the cell and it controls what goes in and what goes out. That's similar to a fence. So you'll come up with things like that. Little tip here, these bottom 3, cell wall, chloroplast, vacuole, it talks about one kind of cell that they're specifically in, either plant or animal. So make sure that you tell me over here, is it eukaryotes, but also tell me if a cell wall is in a plant cell or an animal cell. Is a chloroplast in a plant cell or animal cell? Is a vacuole in a plant cell or an animal cell? So that's these bottom 3. And remember, this is how you're going to write with these tools, okay? Now, next thing that we're going to look at is for the number 2. So what you have here, you have a Nearpod. Now, I know last week's Nearpod was really long, so I did learn and I did get the message that last week's was really long. So what we did is we shortened it up. You only have 11 slides, and you're not even doing anything with all 11. There's a couple slides to where you can just kind of move the cell around and look at it. So this is going to be some practice. This is kind of here for you to review and to kind of see how you do. There's some matching stuff for vocab. There's a couple quizzes, things like that. So remember, I'm grading it for participation. Are you trying? Are you doing your best? Not just like if you miss a question, you're not necessarily going to get it wrong, but I do want you to try. Also, little side note, if you were in class, if we did part of this in class, and let's say you got to slide 4, we finished slide 4. Well, that means you wouldn't have to do the 1, 2, and 3, 4. You could start off from 5. So if you were in class, you can just pick up where we left off because we didn't get done with it. Next thing is this cell organelles and concept map and riddles. So more practice. The only way we're going to get better with this stuff is if we practice it. And so let me zoom out a little bit. So you have a concept map here. So you have 2 kinds of cells. You have animal cells, and then you have this mystery thing. So probably what you're going to want to find out first is probably this row here. These are some organelles that you have. So like the nucleus, what does the nucleus store? And you're going to have to work backwards here. So producing energy for the cell. What organelle produces energy? What organelle makes proteins? What organelle provides support and protection? What organelle does photosynthesis? So these are organelles. So this is probably going to be some kind of eukaryotic cell, just saying. Down here, you're going to check all the boxes of what they have. So you're going to check down here, what structures do animal cells have? Do animal cells have a cell membrane? Do they have a cell wall? Do they have a nucleus? You're going to put an X there. Same thing for plant cells, and you're going to put an X for the things that prokaryotic cells have. I know it's kind of hard to see the lines here, but just kind of try to match it up your best. And then down here, you have some riddles. Okay, so these riddles are, they're explaining an organelle's job. So your job is to find what this is. So powerhouse. So I would say maybe highlight some of the words that are, important, some of the big clues, and look at those clues and see, go back to your notes. Which one of these would be like a powerhouse or deals with energy and breaks down food? All right, so that's number 3. Number 4, we have cell CER. So this is week 3 that we're practicing with CERs. So you have a couple things. So the first one, you have a description. And so this talks about like what the results for looking for a cell. You have clues there. And your job for the first one is to tell me prokaryotic or eukaryotic cell. So you would say this is a prokaryotic cell, or this would be a eukaryotic cell. Remember, no nucleus, no organelles. You do. Eukaryotic cells do have a nucleus, do have organelles. Evidence, you would tell me what it does or does not have. It does not have a nucleus. It does have a nucleus. It does not have mitochondria. It does have a mitochondria. All right. And then the reasoning, so you might say since there is a nucleus, the cell would have to be a eukaryotic cell because it has organelles or it has a nucleus. So you're just kind of restating it. So you have a description for the first one, kind of have a word problem. This one, you have a picture. Different question. We're not asking pro or eu. We're asking, is this a plant or animal cell? So there's some things that plants have that animals don't. For example, they have a chloroplast. So you're going to look at this, figure out, is this a plant cell or is this an animal cell? And you're going to do the same kind of thing. So this would be an animal cell. This would be a plant cell. I see what do you see that tells you that it's animals? Or what do you see that tells you it's not a plant or it is a plant? Okay, so that's number 3. Now this is a Google Doc, or this is number 4, sorry. This is a Google Doc, so you need to make sure you can write on this. You know, the PDF is where you need the toolbar. If you have a Google Doc, you can just type in your answer. So there's that. And then number 5, you have a quiz for week 4. So, you're going to complete the quiz. Make sure you review this stuff or have your notes handy to go back and look at. And that is our stuff for week 4. So I hope that helps. Like I said, if you have issues with the PDF stuff, so you have a PDF here, you have a PDF on number 3. Okay, so you have 2 PDFs to work with. Guys, please reach out to me. And I will also say this, doing a Google Meet would be we could get that fixed so much quicker than trying to email me or send a classroom message, because part of the thing is some people are having one problem and some people are having another problem. So if we can schedule a Google Meet, I'm going to have everybody who's having issues with their PDF to join our Google Meet on Friday. That way we can get it fixed, because guys, we're going to keep using this PDF tool reader. So it's going to benefit you if you get this fixed. The quicker, the better. So if you got any questions, please ask. I hope these instructions were helpful, and we will see you guys soon.